They're done. They're done.
Right. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm calling this school board meeting to order at 7 o'clock on the dot. Could I please get a roll call?
Yeah. John Woodworth.
Here.
Kristen Savage.
Here.
Lee Newton.
Here.
Shauna Manthorn.
She's excused.
McCormick. Here. Mark Sherwood.
Here.
And Lee Woodworth.
And Paul LeCane is also excused as well. Yeah, he's not here, so you can't look. All right, if everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Almost fell right in the way. Huh? I know you did. Right, approval, do we have any non-public meeting minutes or just?
Not from last time, no.
Woo-hoo. All right, so we just have the regular old meeting minutes, so everybody get a chance to look at that, and then I'll take a motion to accept them.
Just on page
I was just gonna say,
5, it says the TA, can that just be changed to the PTA?
What page?
Page 5.
Page 5 should be TTA. Justin lied, there are non-public.
Should be what?
TTA.
No, PT. Parent
Oh, it
teachers.
should be PTA.
And then with that, I would like to make a motion to accept them as amended.
A motion to accept the meeting minutes as amended. Do I have a second?
You do.
Seconded by Mark. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed and abstained, 7-0-0. Okay, we do have some non-public meeting minutes that we're going to pass around.
Make a motion to accept the non-public meeting minutes of January 18th, 2024.
Motion to have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Sapia. Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed and abstained.
7-0-0.
7-0-0. My left hand's not working so good. Mark, you can put it right in there.
Your left hand, my left foot.
All right.
You're welcome.
Student, staff, and family share. What do we got tonight?
Got Mr. Henderson to start.
Look at them all snazzy
All right, I got a treat for you guys tonight. Tonight, we are going to be talking about the middle school Tiger Techs,
Sweet.
which is a group of students that provide tech support for our middle school staff and students. We have some with us tonight. Mr. Mensis is here, obviously.
Couple of our experts.
We're going to get through our part pretty quickly because I know you want to get to the most important people here tonight and hear from them. So we have some quick facts about the Tiger Techs. It was actually founded in 1920 as an 8th grade advisory. We have expanded that to all grades now. And we'll talk about why that was, why that came to be this year in a second. But we have 15 students. We have 3 and 6th, 6th and 7th, and 6th and 8th. So it's spread out across the 3 grades. What do these students do for us is fix Chromebooks, laptops. They're fixing broken keyboards, screens, hinges, touchpads, any part of the hardware that's, the cameras, the microphones. They're troubleshooting basic operating issues with the systems, and they're logging the trouble tickets and helping coordinate loaners that go out. If something needs to stay in to get fixed, they're helping coordinate a loaner go out to make sure that we keep the operation running. So what are the number of issues they're fixing monthly is 40 to 50, so it's a significant amount of work they're doing. And we see probably a lot of issues at the middle school because of the number of devices we have out there. So they're doing a great job of getting these things turned around and getting back out there. And the hours of operation with the techs is they're every other period, odd periods, so 1, 3, 5, and 7. They're out there every day making sure that things get fixed. Why we're here tonight specifically is that it's gone from just an 8th grade advisory to the whole school. And the reason for that is the new Tiger Tech area, which you have some pictures up on the screen there. We want to have a shout out to
Steve Curtis
Yep.
did a tremendous job of expanding the space for us and making a space for them to work in. Originally, we were just in the back of the classroom, and it was really infringing upon other learning that was going on. But now they have their own space, so all the tech stuff is in there, and they have their own little workshop. Basically, I mean, it's like a Santa's workshop, but way cool with tech stuff.
Yeah, it involves, there's a back end area where they can, they have tools and parts and they can fix things. And then there's another area it's kind of like if you've been to the Apple store and you know what a Genius Bar is. It's kind of like that. There's an open space with tables where they can go out and work with staff and students to get those devices, fixed.
And just to highlight one more time, because it does deserve to Steve Curtis did this thing very quick turnaround time before the school year started, so we could start the school year with this new Tiger Tech program. And as you'll see from this quick video, it really has come to life because kids and the adults in the building all go there. I think about it in terms of Best Buy, like the Geek Squad, but they're no geeks. They're awesome kids who know tech and are very savvy. So they're the ones who are they can take care of all your devices. If any problems here tonight, with awesome tools and get to work. That's how the kids in the building and the adults see it now. So let's come to the window and get some help.
And a quick shout out to Mr. Kraus, who's the middle school tech, who helps them and coordinates things with them.
Absolutely.
So let's take a look. We got a 2-minute video here that will kind of introduce you to what they do.
We gotta have badges, of course, right?
There we go.
It's a very small screw. It's very hard to see.
Tiger Techs started out as an advisory a few years ago. Last summer, we were able to expand the program and expand the room that we're currently in to be able to house multiple students and all the supplies needed for our for everything we do here. Breaking down of different delicate pieces of equipment and putting them back together, including Chromebooks, older projectors, I got a cathode ray television that we take apart and look at. So it's a matter of just trying to pique curiosity with the students and how all these things work.
I like Tiger Tech because it's very fun and interesting, and I get to learn more about technology. I don't really have a favorite, but I would say it's taking out the motherboard and swapping it. I've learned that lots of people don't really take care of their Chromebooks I've learned how to fix these Chromebooks and help other people with them.
Turn over to
Yeah.
the group. So we definitely want the kids to come up here because they're the ones who are real stars of the show. So we're gonna have 4 of them come up here and say a few words to you. You got those 4 seats? Go for it.
Hey, welcome. Good evening.
Good evening.
Slide over one more
Hello.
person. There you go.
My name is Carson, and I'm in the 7th grade, and I live in Atkinson and Sandown. My favorite part of Tiger Tech is the is helping other kids fix their Chromebook and swapping out different parts of the Chromebook, and yeah, it's just really fun.
My name is Steven. I'm in 7th grade and I live in Danville. I like Tiger Tech because it's a fun way of learning about computers and what's inside of them. My name is Jonah. I'm in 7th grade and I live in Danville. I like Tiger Tech because it's fun for taking apart the Chromebooks and putting them back together, fixing the problems with other students and troubleshooting them is always fun.
My name's Olivia. I'm in 8th grade and I live in Danville. I like Tiger Tech because of the opportunities it opens up. We don't only fix Chromebooks inside that room. We go out to hallways, deliver Chromebooks to teachers or students. And if you're lucky enough, you can go out and take tests for Wi-Fi, probably scaring a teacher in the process, but you get to test the Wi-Fi. It's fun. I feel like the problem for me is customer service because the customers can be somewhat bright sometimes, but that kind of gives me the excuse to use the famous IT crowd line, have you tried turning it off and on again? Overall, I like Tiger Tech. It's really fun and interesting with the computers.
So we talked about it. We were a little nervous about questions, but we can probably tackle a couple if anybody has a question about the work they do.
Well, first of all, good job, guys. You've
Yeah.
all have been very well spoken. So good job and way to go with the tech because that's something that I would not even be able to do. So Mark, go ahead.
Have any of you gone home and taught your parents something that they didn't know, or given them info or about how the computer works, or? So I'm saying
the
that.
parents are all nodding,
Yes, kind of.
Kinda,
Maybe.
nothing.
I think one time, but I don't remember.
We believe you.
Oh, good.
I've got a question for Jonah and Stephen. When you've been asking me to get a pass to go down to tech room, I thought you had problems with your computers. Were you having problems with your computers or were you just going to work?
Usually a mix of both.
Okay.
Anybody else? Jack.
I want to thank you guys for reducing the budget. You're doing a great job of contributing to the district, so great job. Thank you very much.
Gonna put you out of business again.
Go for it. This is my feeder program for you. You guys have to do a year at Timberlane after you graduate. We didn't tell you that.
Well, thank you guys and continue to go into a good job, okay?
It's awesome.
Yeah, well done.
Hey, Ken and Mitch, and for the kids too, if you guys could share with the staff that are working with these guys a small anecdote. I had my iPhone first crack and get repaired in 2013. I drove to a high school student's house who had started a business out of his parents' kitchen. That young man now has 10 retail stores across New Hampshire. This is 10 years ago. So it's like those things that we do in schools that are going to generate something down the road for you that we're not planning, or it's not a structured class. I think it's just awesome that you have adults that are willing to kind of sponsor that experience for you at the school. So thanks for working really hard at it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Are they for hire? Can I bring them to my?
Yeah, so was that it for students?
Send them over to the Vicary.
All right, delegates and individual, we do have one, Ms. Crystal Walker. How are you this evening?
Good, how's everybody?
We're good.
Dear school board, I'm Crystal Walker, parent of a middle schooler. Like many parents, I have struggled speaking out for fear of judgment, but I'm
Ma'am, hold on just one second. Dean, will you shut that door so we can hear her all the way, please? Thank you. No,
You're free to sit if you want.
Yeah, you don't have to
You
stand.
can sit down.
Oh, I'm okay.
Okay.
Is it okay if I stand?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Don't feel like you had to stand though.
Oh, thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. I have struggled speaking out for fear of judgment, but I'm compelled to voice my heartfelt concern and offer a solution. I want to emphasize I fully support an inclusive school environment that fosters understanding and acceptance for all students. Our family values and validates people from all walks, never intentionally alienating or discriminating. Our sphere of influence is diverse and rich. Please do not misinterpret the heartbeat of my message. Schools exist to facilitate learning in a defined spectrum of subjects. Morality is subjective and is not on that list. It's reserved for the home. Classrooms should be neutral study environments without distraction or discomfort. Displaying a pride flag poses challenges within the student body as it crosses the line into morality and can only detract from learning. It is political, of sexual nature, and is a point of contention that interferes by creating distractions from the core of the curriculum. Where is the heterosexual flag? The furry flag? The communist flag? Absent because of the uproar and distraction they'd cause. None would advance an atmosphere for learning. Through talking to a large number of parents, the general consensus from the student body is that it is a distraction and it raises more questions as to what its purpose is for being up. It creates controversy among the students rather than discussing the subject. My child and a large group of students feel uncomfortable with the prominently displayed large flag that doesn't pertain to education. It creates division. It is essential that we consider the perspectives of all students and parents in our diverse community. How many really don't feel welcome, especially in the 6th grade? The school already has resources in place to address these issues. Where does the school board stand on this line? Especially since our proficiency scores start in the 30s, classroom decor should be dedicated to educational content supporting its subject matter. Posters of people our children endeavor to be, such as Albert Einstein for science, Shakespeare for English, or Isaac Newton for math. No flags beyond the American or state should be displayed on school property. All agendas must be eliminated for the furtherance of maximizing meaningful learning experiences. Thank you for your dedication to our community and considering my perspective, which reflects that of many others. Be assured, my willingness to do what I can to bring solutions and support our students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you.
Can I please pass a paper to the chair, just to keep on file?
Give it to.
You can give it to Linda here.
And she'll get it to me. Thank you, appreciate that.
Just keep.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to move the last? You can just, Linda, just keep it and I'll get it. It'll go. Can I get a motion to move the last 27 minutes of delegates and individuals to the end of the meeting?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jack. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0-0. Okay. Student representative.
Hello, amazing to be here in February. We've reached the part of the school year that starts to fly by, so the district is very energized and excited for this next part of the school year.
The end.
The down here slide.
There we go, thanks.
Yes, so to begin, there was a very successful Mary Poppins Jr. performance at the PAC last week. There was a lot of great reception from the district as a whole, and all who were part of the performance did an outstanding job. Last Friday at the district-wide Professional Development Day, Sandown Central's preschool and pre-K teachers learned lots of great information about early childhood development from Terry Brown Irish from UNH. On Monday, February 5th, Sandown Central is holding a Child Find screening event. Child Find refers to the school district's responsibility to actively seek out or find children who may be children of disabilities in special need of education. At this time, 12 families from our 4 district towns have signed up to participate in the screening. Sandown North's 5th grade students had their first DARE presentation this week. North is excited to partner with Sandown Police Department to bring this program to their school. The second round of after-school enrichment clubs at North are starting next week, these clubs being the Magic of Math and Craft Club. Danville is planning a school-wide assembly on the 100th day of school next Wednesday. Teachers are also planning several fun activities throughout the day. Danville Student Council has completed their warmth drive and will be sorting all the donated items soon. All items will be donated to families in need. Danville's staff continue to collect non-perishable items the first Friday of each month. All donated items go to the Lions Club, who then connect with families in need. At Atkinson Academy, there was a visit from the Greater Salem Rotary Dictionary. They made a donation to grade 3 students. All of the 3rd grade students received their own personal dictionary. The Rotarians delivered and gave a brief presentation to students on January 30th. For Atkinson's upcoming 100th day celebration, all 10 of the kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grade classes will be working towards a challenging goal of reading 100 books as a class and will ask family and close friends to pledge. This year, Atkinson is very excited to be raising funds to help support their own Mrs. Donnelly's niece's nonprofit organization, Tiny Transplant Titans. Her child was born needing a liver transplant. So the family created this organization to help raise awareness for organ donation, along with putting together care packages for those awaiting transplants, and these bags always include books. Pollard has a 5th grade parent committee event next week. This event is Candy Bingo and Game Night. Registration will be open today for the 2024-25 pre-K and kindergarten classes. Pollard will be holding some informational nights for incoming pre-K and kindergarten parents. The Pollard Kindergarten Info Night will be held from 6 to 7 o'clock on March 7th, and the district is holding a pre-K information night at TLC from 6 to 7 on April 5th. The middle school boys B basketball team is the #1 seed heading into the playoffs. Girls and boys A basketball teams have also qualified for playoffs. Cheerleading is preparing for the Tri-County Championships. And the middle school wrestling team did a great job at the Tri-County meet last weekend. They had 3 individual champions. Over at the high school, the process of course selection for next year is underway. There were informational class meetings for freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. Teacher recommendations have been taking place today and will continue tomorrow. Students will have the opportunity to meet with counselors to review course selection. This portal will be open on PowerSchool tomorrow, and all selections will need to be made by the 9th of February. There has been a number of bake sales at the high school, and the class of 2025 will be having a donut sale that is available for students to purchase tomorrow. Senior scholarship information will be coming out soon, with the incoming deadline a couple of weeks away. There will be a series of Project Hope Play for a Cure games taking place at the high school. These include basketball and also a milkman show. The Project Hope fashion show will be held on the 9th of March. And to conclude, Fun Festival took place at the high school last Saturday. It had a wonderful turnout, and I had the amazing honor of being at the Pie in the Face station. So we had lots of fun. Yeah. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Okay. First order of business, we have a donation from Atkinson Lions Club to Project Hope, Strut for the Cure. They are donating $3,000. Armand, are you on Project Hope?
I am, yes.
Is there anything you want to speak to for this year, for the upcoming, because it looks like it's coming up March 9th, correct?
Yeah, so it is coming up very soon, and this donation specifically, it's very meaningful. Project Hope does a lot of great work in the community. They have their Angel Fund, which helps families going through tough times. So it really does make a big impact in the community. So this donation is very, it means a lot.
And this is your all's 15th year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty amazing. And just so everyone knows that so far Project Hope has been able to raise over $175,000 for their causes. So that's pretty great now, guys. So could I get a motion to accept the $3,000 donation?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the $3,000 donation to Project Hope from the Lions Club.
Got a motion by Kristen. Jack, give me a second.
Please.
Jack,
And
second.
can I just say,
Yeah, it's discussion. Go ahead.
the Lions Club in Atkinson, as all the Lions Clubs are, they are truly a great group of people that do a ton of heavy lifting around the community. So a special thanks to a very special group of people that are always there for anyone in need.
Did you want to say something, Kristen?
Not so much on the donation. I was going to say something later, but since we're on the conversation now, just to jump on the strut a little bit more.
Yeah, go for it.
The people, not everyone knows what it is, but it is a fashion show that's put on by the kids at the high school. They have some incredible advisors. The staff all rallies together. The kids go out and they seek donations, and they put together these amazing raffle baskets, silent auctions, and then they all come up with their own outfits. It's all themed. What's the theme this year? Is it 80s? I think it's 80s.
Make a face when you say 80s.
Yeah, I think it was, because we were talking about a few outfits for using, but the kids then come out, and it's MC by Mr. Castano, and the kids all come out and they model and they do things, and then there's all these, again, potentials for raffle baskets. It is such a fun and incredible night, and there are people in the community that always speak, people that have been affected by cancer one way or another, whether it's a staff member or a resident, a student. And it's just something that hits home with everybody. And if you've never been, the doors are gonna open. It's a Saturday night. The doors open at 5:30. Show starts promptly at 6. Show goes maybe an hour and a half, 2 tops, but it's just an incredible night. Lots of fun. Highly recommend it. Go out and support these kids, especially it's their 15th year. Support the advisors that have been doing this, and you're supporting the community in a great cause. So hope to see everyone there.
Is it true that the chair of the school board and the superintendent will be modeling that night?
No, I don't. No, but I they do have a survivor walk too. So anyone that's a survivor or has had a family member or whatever, they all walk. And I've had the pleasure of walking with my boys in this. Not some that's a pleasure, but the opportunity to walk with my boys in it for many years. And again, just the night it's an incredible night, and they all just do an amazing job. So, I mean, just come and have fun and just cheer the kids on, because there's so many kids that are in Project Hope. How many?
There's like over 100 within the school, so it's a huge part of our community at the school.
I mean, it is. It's like you say Project Hope and most of the kids are involved. It's just great. So that being said, that's all. And I actually didn't really realize I was wearing my Project Hope sweatshirt tonight too.
Swag.
It's like a theme night, so I'll close the meeting with it too. No, I'm just sorry.
No, hold on.
Don't go crazy.
Don't go crazy on me. All right, we got a motion and a second. Do we have any other discussion on this? All right, all those in favor? Opposed? And abstain? Sounds like someone's car is beeping. All right, thank you. And thank you to the Atkinson Lion Club for that donation. Next on the list is the
Everyone's checking.
is the high school math curriculum edit. Sandy, is it?
Mark is here.
Mark,
for
you speaking to that? Okay,
yes.
thank you.
But he doesn't have a graph.
No graph.
Name bring graph.
Shame, shame.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I come to you tonight with a proposal for a math curriculum revision. Just as a reminder, these curriculum revisions go through a 2-process or a 2-read at the Curriculum and Assessment Committee. After a lot of work is done by the teachers to, as they're teaching the curriculum, they look for these edits. They come propose the edits to, the whole department. We look at these edits in light of a K-12 curriculum, and then we bring it to CNA and ultimately to the board. So similar to the last math revision, this one is simply just a looking to not really eliminate a competency, but we realize that 2 competencies are sort of overlapping. Graphing and functions are 2 separate competencies, when in reality, graphing falls under the functions competency. So if kids are assessed in graphing, they're assessed in function. So when you read those competencies, the functions competency, you can kind of see where graphing would be in that. And so teachers felt as though they don't need to report out on both graphing and functions, while graphing is a function.
Makes sense.
Okay. So tonight is a first read, a process that we've been employing. So, I have the executive summary in your packet for you, but I will be back next meeting if you have questions about it, or unless you have questions now about it.
Can you put it in a graph for next meeting?
I can try to put it in a graph.
Bree.
So just to clarify, eliminating the graphing, keeping the functions as is.
Correct.
But you're merging 2 things.
We're merging. So when we looked at the rubrics for the I can statements and the skill statements that go into it, some of those I can statements and skill statements from the graphing rubric would go into the functions. So, it's not like we're eliminating the teaching of graphing.
Right.
It's just the way it's reported out that graphing is a function. So you can report out by reporting out on functions and not have to report out on both.
If we approve this for a first read, do you see any changes between now and the second read?
No, it's just, as I said, it's been the process that we've always used, is the board has the opportunity to have first read, second read.
I'll make a motion to accept the high school curriculum revision for a first read or first and second read.
Kind of feel like if nothing's
Yeah,
gonna
like first and
change,
second
let's do a
read.
first and
First and
second
second
read for
read.
adoption. Wait, what?
I'm just thinking Shauna might have a question or something. But you can do it either way. Doesn't matter. Do for first and second.
Paul's on curriculum assessment with us, so we've gone through this.
Okay, then I'd say go ahead and do it for first and second read.
I feel comfortable doing it for first and second read.
Okay. Motion by Kim, do I have a second? Seconded by Mark. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? 7-0. Thank you.
I'd be once again remiss to not thank Jen Pobeck and the teachers who have done so much work on the curriculum work. So, thank you.
Thank you. Alright. Policies, these are 3 for second read / adoption. The 3 policies are EHB, which is data / records retention and destruction, EHAB, which is data governance and security, and KD, which is school district social media websites. So the only thing that the EHAB and KD, there's been no changes since the first read, but policy EHB, we had changes from A to 1 in the first paragraphs of the revised policy on page 2.
Is that Bree's question? You brought that up.
You
the
brought
last
that up.
meeting, right?
Yep, that's what, so that was, it was.
That's been fixed.
Yeah, it's been fixed. Yes. Right. Bree?
So on that same page, page 2, it just says under the A section, from time to time in accordance. I just want a generalization of what time to time means. Is that annually? Is that
what page?
5 years? Page 2, way at the bottom. At the A section, it's like the third line.
Right, sometimes computers are good, sometimes they are really a pain in the butt.
The superintendent will update the record retention schedule from time to time in accordance with legislative or regulatory changes. I didn't know if that should be more specific.
You're on page 2.
I am on page 2.
Page
Of
2 at the bottom.
EHB, way at the bottom.
Alright, we'll minimize it.
There we go.
Well, it says, I mean, I see what you're saying about time to time, but it says in accordance with legislation or regulatory changes. So I feel like because it states that that's fine.
So that was my question, is it only when there are changes in regulations?
Probably whenever it's changes in regulations or if we have like an issue and we're like, ooh, I know nothing's changed regulation wise, but it's something
So I
that
feel
we
like
wanna
they should
change.
be after 5 years.
Justin,
Or
did you
1
wanna
year
speak to this?
after-
Yeah, Kelly, do you have any information in terms of intervals of us changing any of our requirements for record retention? No?
Did you?
If we're good with time to time, we're good. I just wanted clarification.
Does anybody else have a question?
Is there somebody who keeps up with the legislation that would change the time to time?
Well, it also says,
I mean, is that like something that you do regularly?
but it also says upon the advice of council, so generally,
Right.
I mean, notifications come out, the school board will send stuff out, I'm sure they send it out with the superintendents.
There's
It's
different organizations
things,
that we're
so-
part of do it, but also there's legal briefs and reviews before school years will start. We'll get some legislative updates primarily just from legal counsel as well. And that's more with some specific training and even some guidance and documents that we could kind of push out as drafts.
I'm happy.
Okay. Good question. Does anybody else have any other questions about these policies? If not, can I get a motion to accept these EHB, EHAB, and KD for a second read?
So moved.
Moved by Kristen. Do I have a second? Second. Second by Kim. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed and abstained.
Just name the policy after Katie.
Huh?
Katie. She named the policy after you.
Oh, Katie, yeah, they did. All right. Sorry. Long day.
It's been a very long
It's
day.
been a long day, week, month. All right, special education budget transfer. Come on down, Kenny.
So I am asking to move the money from current positions that we have that we couldn't fill over to contracted. That's all we're doing.
Pretty straightforward, but does anybody have any questions for Kelly?
Yeah, just one real fast one, and I think I know the answer. Could you shoot from the hip, 20%, 30% margin of error here? If those positions were filled, how much money would the district be saving? If miraculously you could have snapped your fingers and filled them? What's a premium we're paying?
We're paying for some 3 times the amount we would pay for our people. Paras are more than our teachers make.
Well, I will just say, the line item requested for transfer is $565,160.
Yep, so pay 2/3, deduct 2/3 from that, and that's what it'd normally be if we had staff in place.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to kind of get you to drive that point home.
All right, so again, this is from line items of positions that we do not have, and because of that, we have to contract out, so thus the reason for the transfer money. So does someone want to make a motion
I will.
to request for a budget transfer of $565,000, 160? $565,000.
$591,177.
Oh, well, I have a different number here, that's what I was reading, my bad. Someone else read it.
So
I
I
cleaned
will
it up
make
for
that
Linda.
motion for budget transfer in the amount of $591,177.
Motion, do I have a second? Second by Bree. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I have a question, and
Yeah, go ahead.
and I'm gonna vote for this, but so when we budget for this, we budget for the positions, not for the contract. So basically, that's money that we're losing that hasn't been accounted for in the budget, right? Because we're paying 2/3 more than what we had anticipated for those positions. Just
unanticipated cost, yeah.
That's right. Am I looking at this the right way?
You're looking at it right, but Kelly also has a line for contracted services
No,
specifically. Right, okay.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, all those in favor? Opposed? Or abstained? 7-0. Thank you, Kelly. Right, next on the list is irrigation upgrades RFP results.
Irrigation upgrade RFP results. We also have the pond expansion as well. We
Yes.
can take them two separately. These were proposals or bids that were put out and closed both on January 16th. Regarding the irrigation upgrades, this is a piece that we do need to move on. As a district, there was one bid that was received. It was the same company that was the previous recommendation here from the district admin. The price had remained the same. The only thing that was deducted was the well that was part of that discussion. We had some meetings with, I believe, construction and facilities, and we believe that we're going to remove that and replace it with the pond dredging we can talk about secondly here. But these are in front of you. There's a really clear recommendation to move in this direction.
Bree.
With the irrigation upgrades, does that include moving the pipe that we talked about?
Is that a yes, Carl?
That was a nod.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for that degree of specificity.
So,
Jack.
So my question is more of an accounting thing. Was this, I know the irrigation thing was, I mean, the pond was something new, like something we uncovered, whatever. So was the irrigation, were these upgrades in, or at least the irrigation one, was that in this year's budget or is it in next year's budget? When do we plan? In other words, where's this money coming from? Because
There,
does it say it?
this piece here is going to be within this fiscal year right here.
Okay, and which line does that come from? Was that considered when we put together the budget? And I just want to know where the money's coming
Yep.
from.
Let me do some background research and I can tell you exactly where
That's
it's coming
fine, because when I look at the other one, that was an unanticipated number. Now we're looking at over $350,000 of expenditures. And I'm not saying we don't need these things. I mean, I was I'm all on board with this. The pond's been an issue for 20 years. So I just want to make sure that we have the resources, because as we sat in another meeting, we're like, okay, do we go with this and not with that? And now every $50,000, $100,000 is starting to matter because things add up over time. I just want to make sure that at the end of the year, we're not sitting here saying, boy, I hope.
This one's on the agenda in our radar right now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so again, they've gone out to bid. This is what's come back, and this is minus the well and moving of the pipe. So corporate incorporated is what is the proposal. So does someone want to make a motion to?
You said minus the well and remove, I thought the pipe was included.
The pipe's included.
The
The
well
pipe
and the pipe are
moved.
two different,
Pipe moved, yeah.
two different things.
So does someone want to make a motion to accept the bid?
I will.
Jack makes that motion. Do I have a second? Second. Second by Kim. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed and abstained. 7-0. All right, moving on to pond dredging. Go ahead, Justin.
Yep, second one is the pond dredging and the expansion of the pond. Received 2 bids for that. It also closed on January 16th. You can see the dollar figures and the companies there. There's a large discrepancy. Because of that, we did some more due diligence in terms of following up with a recommendation from us, just to be sure that we could discuss that, a little bit of the cost differential there and have some reasons for why. And we still remain real confident that that work can get done for that price in a really timely manner. The timeliness is something to point out. It's something that must be done during the winter months. So it would either be something that we could move on right now if we're going to make some decisions that this is where we want to do fiscally, Or if you wanted to defer, accept the bid and defer down the road, that would be something that we would look to start then next winter. And that's in terms of interruption cycles. You want some solidity in the ground, I guess, when you're doing this type of work.
So, I'm gonna let Bree, I'm gonna Bree and then Jack.
So I was just kind of processing, it sounds like you would want to do the dredging before you do the irrigation work so that it doesn't muck it up. So it sounds like it should probably be done this winter.
No, and that's, I'm sorry.
Carl,
Thank you,
wanna come
Carl.
up and speak?
So it would be nice to do the pond prior to the irrigation. However, the irrigation is more important than the pond at this point. We can do the irrigation now, and then when we're doing the pond, we won't be drawing from it, and that's one of the reasons we do it in winter. Allow it to fill back up, allow any muck or sediment in the water to settle out of the water column so that we're using clean water in our new irrigation system. So that's why it would be done in the winter.
Would you also do the irrigation in the winter? Like,
We can do the irrigation now.
You can, like
Yeah,
dig
so-
into hard ground?
We wouldn't do a lot of the work on the fields, but what we would do is put the controllers and get those all programmed, get that going before we can start getting on the fields and replacing heads, which we would hope would be done prior to the irrigation season, so it would be, we'd be getting there.
Any other questions? Jack?
So, I'm kind of along the lines of Bree that I guess the first question is, does this include the sediment pond? We talked about the retention pond and the sediment pond. Those were all one project. Okay, that's good. Two, thank you to Busby Construction. And one of the reasons there's a slight differential here is their companies across the street. And a lot of the site work contractors it's all based on logistics and how far you've got to move your equipment. But they've been part of this district. They are joined at the hip with us, and they passionately care about the district too. I would highly recommend that we move on this winter. So this way here, the system is in place. It won't interfere with you putting in the pipes this spring, because at least the history tells us that one of the big problems with the irrigation system has always been the goop getting stuck up in the pond, up in the pipes. And I know you're going to be putting filters in, so it's a kind of a different animal now. But if we have the resources, let's do the dredging and get that pond squared away for the spring. So when you do implement the irrigation system, it would be ready to go, right? Yeah.
That would be the hope, that we could start collecting snow and rain as the spring comes and
Well,
filling the pond back up, so.
My other understanding of it is that by digging this new hole, a deeper hole, and cleaning it out, that you're really charging those systems, those springs, will really be able to let go into the pond, correct?
Yes.
So I'm hearing, Mark, go ahead. You had the
From the
question,
Department
sorry.
of Redundancy, in looking at these two bids, and one of them was considerably more reasonable than the other, you've had a discussion and you're very comfortable with it? Awesome.
The company that's winning the bid was the one that designed the project originally 5 years ago, so they're very confident that they can do the exact job we're asking for.
Perfect.
All right, so it sounds like we would like to go with Busby Construction, and I think it would be a wise decision to go ahead and do it this winter. So can I get a motion to accept the bid from Busby Construction for $222,000?
So moved.
Motion by Jack, just a second. Second by Mark. Any other discussion?
The only other thing I would ask the administration is to just a clarification on the line that's coming from, please.
That'll be more complicated.
I do believe that the irrigation upgrades came out of the CIP this year, for this year's, it was approved. That's why we're ready to go in the fall with it. It was approved prior to this.
We slowed it down.
I do not know where we're getting the money from. That's gonna be Maria's.
All right, and also with Jack's motion was that we were gonna authorize it be started this winter.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion by Jack, seconded by Mark. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed and abstain? 7-0-0. All right.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you. Administrator's report.
you want to start?
Sure, I'm happy to start. Just wanted to kind of inform you, give you some general information about our Professional Learning Day, which was last Friday. So we know there's no school for students that day. Our teachers are here, and it's a day of learning for them. So we were thrilled to have 13 different sessions running, but the principle of the day was really targeted at getting our educators together in K through 12 groups in the content area that they are focused on. So our math teachers were able to get together as K-12 educators, world language teachers got together and had some really focused, purposeful learning, ranging from everyone getting on the same page philosophically about new research behind certain approaches to more practical strategies that they can implement in their classrooms. So we are going through feedback right now from that day from our staff. And so by and large, it was very positive. And so it was a great day. Our next day is in March, and that is a day that our PD committee is actively planning right now. So we send out calls for presenters to our staff for that day. And the intent of that day is by teachers, for teachers. And so it's usually on that day our own educators who are designing workshops for their colleagues. And so we're currently sorting through that, and we'll give you more information once that's ready to go. But 2 really great days of learning for our educators. So
cool. We also got some information about some of the youngest folks living out there in the district. So for families that are looking to next school year and may have a preschooler or a pre-kindergarten student or a kindergarten student kind of in the wings, we're really encouraging now that registration is open. Please do look on your school's websites or the district website. Even better, call the school, talk to somebody there, kind of talk them and get talked through the registration. Once you're able to do that, one of our goals this year is to be reaching out directly to families. So once you start that registration process, you'll hear from somebody from the school. They'll kind of walk you through the screening and the kind of the entryway and the kind of acclimation of that building. And then we'll be asking for a deposit to secure your space. Then we'll talk about what those payments will look like over the course of the year up until March 2025. So if you've got little people entering our schools, we're excited for that, but make sure that you're reaching out to school and starting that process as soon as you can. It helps us tremendously to be able to plan and really have some staffing and resource conversations on the front end of things so we can be really prepared in the fall. So we'd love to see a lot of people join us that are the younger ages. Coming up in terms of budget season and the warrants and deliberative and the vote coming up in March, we're going to be visiting all the PTAs across the schools. We're going to start that next week. We're going to start having conversations about the budget and mostly the TTA warrant. Those are the big ones that are in front of people. We'll have some information packets to kind of hand out. We'll be able to answer some questions, talk through anything people need to do with those things. So all of you on the board are certainly invited to those meetings. They start next week at the elementary schools. We got every elementary school next week, and then Pollard, I believe, is the week after. They were really robust and good conversations last year, some of them lasting an hour or an hour and a half. So I really encourage folks to get out there and attend those meetings, and we'll be advertising through the PTAs that way as well. Note at the high school, I gave you an update about the middle school is working through its data from the Youth Participatory Action Research. The high school is now in the midst of doing the same thing. They have their data. They're talking it through with their student and their staff leadership teams and kind of assessing, doing some root cause analysis there and kind of making some recommendations based upon anything they're seeing about input from students, staff, and families in terms of what a culture or the experiences are like at those schools. So kind of stay tuned and updated. We'll have some presentations coming to the board on both of those fronts from the middle school and the high school kind of coming down the road. And that's it for me, Kate.
Awesome, thank you guys. All right, personnel report. We have 1 professional nomination. Hi, Fran. Can I please get a motion to accept the professional nomination of G. Frank Albert, music teacher for Danville Elementary?
So moved.
Motion made by Kim. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Kristen. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed and abstained. Fran, how's your vacancy report going?
We actually added all the retirement positions are already on here. So we had about, I think, 6 teachers retire.
How many?
I think about 6.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, 6. So we did post them to kind of get an early jump on, get ahead of the curve, people recruitment. So we're able to hire a math internist, an interventionist. And I think that's, and then we will be, and what we just hired right now with the music teacher, that's gonna be coordinating through all the elementary schools. So this music orchestra position will be coming off.
Okay.
We're getting there.
Say that again, I'm sorry, I wasn't following.
About the music.
Yeah,
We have a teacher that's, a music teacher we just hired, that's Mr. Albert. And so the music position is gonna be coming off the vacancy report. He's gonna be traveling to the elementary schools.
okay, so it wasn't just for Danville.
No, his home
Okay.
base will be Danville, but he'll be traveling to the schools.
And I have a quick question. I'm looking at all the special ed positions that are open. I'm looking at the time that they've been open, what we're trying to fill. My question is the app count. Is there anything we can do to expand? I mean, we're getting 6 applications for things that have been open for 620 days.
I mean, we're, when we post all the positions, they go on Indeed, they go on Handshake, they go on to Ed Jobs. I mean, they're out there. It's just, unfortunately, there's just not a lot of special ed people that want special ed positions. And again, our salaries are very, very low. My hope is that if the TTA agreement passes, which I'm sure it will, that we'll be able to attract, more people. But I think that's just gonna be a critical shortage area. It always has been, and I think it will continue to be.
I just didn't know if there was some other avenue we could try to get something out there or to.
Well, no crystal ball, and I think it's best to under promise and maybe over deliver, but I'm really hopeful that Kelly has really been working overtime on a lot of different creative options.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that she has kind of in the wing right now that are looking promising, and we're really hoping that we're going to be bringing some staff for either nomination or to fill some positions shortly, because the work is creative that she's doing and timely. So
Great. Thank you, Kelly. Jack?
Question. So we obviously have some barriers to try to get people in the district, but I would suggest that this is a pretty good place to work. You got a really good administration, you got great communities. We're not, a big city atmosphere. Can we stop marketing ourselves as, hey, you wanna be here with us in our little bedroom communities and I
sound
mean,
like the beginning of every interview we have. Because we agree and we sell that stuff because that is a big piece here.
Okay.
And we've looked at some interview processes that we have around how can we, when we're interviewing, sell to the candidate all those things that you just talked about, that our interviews can look different than maybe they do at other places.
and I'm not trying to be critical of anything. I'm just wondering if you don't go out and market it that way before you get the people. Maybe we get more people into the interview if you start marketing this as like a really cool place to be with really cool school board members. I mean, I struggle with us not being able to facilitate more people when it really is a good place to be.
I think part of it is just the supply and demand. I think that's a lot of it.
And we're not the only school district struggling
No,
with
I
this, and
know.
we're not the only
I know.
state. I mean, even back home in Tennessee, they struggle to fill.
We just gotta outsell everybody.
Does anybody have any other questions for Fran? Thank you.
Thanks, Fran.
Committee reports. We will start with Jack.
So we had a construction meeting last week and the bulk of the meeting was around the windows. I think the windows were $2.5 million. There were 18 smaller windows we left out of, we decided not to run with just because we wanted to just wait. And we had a number of options. We're going with maroon panels. We talked about the color of the flashing, so there's some color coordination going on with the windows in the high school. We talked about how that's going to be coordinated with the roof. But it was pretty impressive. And then I'd like to give credit where credit is due. Carl, you paying attention?
I am, sir.
We had a separate little meeting the next day to talk about a structural issue. And I had an opportunity to go into the new boiler room at the high school. It was like it was in a James Bond movie. It was really cool. It was neat. It was clean. It was, you can just tell it's state-of-the-art stuff. And when I heard I was going into the boiler room, I most certainly didn't expect to see what I saw. So great job. I mean, it's that should last us quite a while. So it was very impressive. But the windows are going in, and they're going in this summer, and it addresses the courtyard. It addresses all the older what they call them, not storefront, the windows in the classroom, so I'm impressed and very happy that we're moving forward on that. So that's it.
Don?
Curriculum committee, Kim talked to.
We did that last week, so. And we have another one, last meeting, we have another one coming up, the sixth?
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. So, yeah.
Kristen?
No, I haven't had any meetings since the last meeting. I guess I'll just go here. One more shout out to the unified basketball team that they won their last game on senior night. They went 4-1 on the season and they were tied at 46 with less than 30 seconds on the clock. Our team scored a 3-point shot.
Buzzer beater.
And the buzzer beat, well, a little bit of the buzzer beater.
Pretty close.
And then they played some really solid defense and they won. So it was a great season for them. It's just a great program. I know there were a lot of other personnel from the school district there, and they want to try to expand this program in other schools, in the middle school and whatnot. And I think that's a great idea. But shout out to the unified basketball team, to the entire program. It's a great event. And then I guess I'm gonna make another. I tend to embarrass Justin a lot, so I'm gonna go there again. Sorry.
He's like, it's not okay, but on my face it will be.
No, there's another event going on in our school, not just Justin, but it's the penguin plunge, polar plunge situation, and Justin is participating in that, as well as there are several other people in the school that are doing this as well. So you can look on the Timberlane High School website, and
More
is your
vacancies.
team on the Timberlane website?
I don't think we're on the sites. but
Yeah, on the
we do.
sites, but there are donations, if you'd like to support this, and it's another great event, so, and I want to give kudos to Justin for doing this and being a part of it, so.
Cold this summer.
Oh, they're doing this on February 10th and 11th. It's a 2-day thing, so he's doing it very soon.
High schools on the 10th, staff team are jumping in on the 11th. Currently a team of 5, looking for more participants.
Can you wear a survival suit?
The theme this year, I think, is Halloween.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yep. I have nothing, other than just stating that our deliberative session is gonna be February the 8th at the PAC at 7 PM. But Mark?
I was at construction with Jack. He did a really good job of covering that. There was an emphasis, and I think Carl did a good job with communicating with the vendors that we were looking, and we were looking at the bottom line, but also quality. And so they were going to get back to us with some potential flexibility on window treatments afterwards and expanding their traditional warranties. So that's a work in progress. So thank you for that.
The other point there was, we were looking at curtains, and the curtains were the shades. Thank you. Almost another $100,000. So I'm always conscientious about how that money's rolling. So when you have something, you got to make a decision like this at the time you install the windows. I want to make sure we have those resources available to do that. That's why I'm a little.
Mark, did you have anything else you wanted to say? Kim, I know you already stated one thing, but is there anything else that you'd like to
I
add?
just wanted to add to the, just really quickly, that I went and saw the middle school play. And it was so well done. And I've been a part of the middle school plays for a long time with my kids. So they didn't do it this year. But what Ms. Howard can do in a very short period of time with, if you anyone who wants to do the play can do the play. You don't get cut, there's always a place for you there. And it was so well done. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Ms. Howard because it's great.
I'll follow up, and I saw the kids, they did it for the school too. They did it for the students throughout the day.
Yeah, on Thursday.
Kind of a warm up for them. The talent was incredible, and the music, the singing, especially supercalifragilistic. The kids were in unison. I can't believe how quickly they were able to be that good.
Right.
Yeah,
It's an excellent program.
Very
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
And the kids in the school loved it. I have a grandson who wants to be in that next year as a result of that, so.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
Another player.
That's all. Thank you.
Bree? For our strategic plan, we had a thought exchange go out about facilities to faculty, and we'll dive into those results next meeting. And then we're hoping to bring it to the community next to see where everyone's thoughts are on that. And we are also brainstorming community-wide events that we can bring in similar to the Project Hope. How can we kind of entice community involvement? And then I do just want to mention that I took my kids to the Armand's National Honor Society or Student Council Fun Fest, and they had a blast. So great job.
Everything, aren't you?
Yes. You got your hands in all kinds of good, George. All right, does anybody have any other business at this time? Do we have any other delegates or individuals? All right, we do have to go into a non-public.
In that case, I'll make a
Math test
motion.
tomorrow?
Well, I have other tests.
Okay, well then
History, so it never ends.
You said that out
Never.
loud, by the way.
Never. All right, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to go into non-public under 91-A:3, subparagraph C.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
second it.
Second by Kristen. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
John Sapian,
You,
John Woodworth, Kristen Savage.
Yep.
Kay Newton.
Yes.
Rebecca Sherwood. Kim McCormick. And Bree Wood. Yes.
All right, thank you, everybody. We are done for this evening. We will be coming out just to seal the minutes, but other than that, that's it. Thank you all.